Yo. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, I was supposed to be live an hour ago. But I ended up drifting off and I was supposed to take a short nap and what ended up being an hour nap turned into like an hour and a half, 2 hour nap. So I ended up waking up. And yeah. So, but here I am. Shout out to Keeman. Keeman, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out for everyone that's waited, guys. Share this channel. Share this channel, guys. We're up to 130 subscribers. We are 123 subscribers. We are only 7 subscribers. Seven. Yes, I said that again. 7 subscribers away. Shout out to everyone that supported the channel, guys. Um. So yeah, guys. This is a Man United slash Man United Everton plus Premier League review. Also, we're gonna look at what's going on at the Serie A, and we're also gonna look at the La Liga as well. Even though there's not much to look at, but then there was a result that I want to talk about. A lot of you guys can think about it, and then there was also an incident during that game as well. After that game, and just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, with no further ado, let me just get into it. So yesterday, Man United won 2-0 against Everton. One of Man United's best performance. I'm not gonna lie to you, one of Man United absolute best performance. Um, Especially during the first half, we completely destroyed them during the first half. Um, Going into this game, I was very confident. Man United is one of the best teams at home, and Everton are very poor. Everton are very poor. I'm not gonna lie to you guys; they did very well to get any type of result from Spurs. I don't know how to today how Spurs managed to drop 2 points against Everton when they were 1 goal up, and Everton was down to 10 minutes. I did not understand it. But yet Spurs do Spursy situations, and also the Chelsea game. Like I don't know how they end up scoring 2 goals. How I don't know. Because Everton's biggest issue under Sean Dyke is they are very resolute. Um, Bruner, Scott Bertoldi, etc., and Anthony escape fraud watch. Absolutely. Um, Everton's biggest issue is gonna be from now till the end of the season is goal scoring. They have this guy named Sims, which I believe is not a good striker at all. And and my assumptions and my conclusion about how good of a striker is evident by yesterday. Yesterday, even though Man United completely dominated the game, had chances, Pickford came with big saves. Um, he had there was a clear cut chance everything had, and it came down to him, and he just dragged it wide. So he didn't even hit the target. So, uh, yeah, Everton are gonna struggle from here to the end of the season, not to get relegated. I think they're gonna survive, but it's gonna be very tough because they just simply cannot score. And for me, um, what happened to Calvin Lewin, I have no idea. I think he still might be. I think he's injured or something like that. Because I have no idea what happened to this guy. The guy just legit disappeared. This guy had like a couple of bad injuries back to back, and he just never. I mean, he came back for a little bit this season, and he has been out. So, once he had that bad injury, his career just went like this. It just took a nosedive. Um, who's getting relegated? You know what? Let me look at the table. Let me share the table. Um, because I know Southampton is going to get relegated 100%. Leicester, I think Leicester is going to get relegated. Um, I don't see Leicester staying up at all. Um, Leicester sacked Brendan Rodgers way too late. I mean, they sacked him way too late. I mean, it's not his fault. It's not his fault the way the season turned out. Their team is total garbage. But at the same time, they should have sacked him a long time ago. Um, and they just kept him, and I don't know why. At this moment, now you're in a situation where no manager wants to come in because they don't want to I mean, no manager wants to come in now. One manager wants to come into a situation where Leicester is completely horrible, and and they look like they're rooting in relegation. I mean, I don't even think Sam Allardyce is going to take this gig because I don't even think it's enough time for Sam Allardyce to do miracles. So, um, they had a chance in the international break. They didn't take it, and they ended up sacking him way too late. So, I'm gonna share this with you guys. So for me, who do I think is going to? Let me see. No, that's too big. Yeah, there you go. Who do I think is going to get relegated? So lucky. Shout out to Graham Potter, man. Graham Potter made sure this club was not going to get relegated because I'm telling you right now, Frank Lampard will do everything in his power to make sure to get Chelsea relegated. But because you guys are on 39 points, it's going to be you guys almost guaranteed to not to get relegated. If he, if Lampard would have came in a couple games ago, yeah, relegation, 100%, relegation, 100%, would have been on the cards because Lampard is going to lose. I think Lampard is going to lose every single game. Yeah, I don't think he's going to win a single game. Um, I think Palace are going to be okay. Shocking, but I think they're going to be okay. So which I didn't agree with the Patrick Vieira sacking, but it looks like it worked, bro. Because somehow, some way, they look like they're about to survive when they didn't look like they will. I think Wolves are gonna survive as well, somehow, some way as well. I think Wolves, that result against Chelsea, I think that was a massive result. So, um, I think West Ham United are in massive danger. I think West Ham United are in big, 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 big trouble. I think I think my three to get relegated is West Ham United, Leicester, and Southampton. I think Nottingham Forest. I think they won't win a lot of games, but I think they'll win random games. I think Everton would just do enough. I think Leeds United will do enough, and I think Bournemouth will do enough. But I don't see. I mean, let me look at West Ham's fixtures. Yeah, they got Arsenal next. They're in. They're in the Conference League. Why? That's crazy. Then they play Bournemouth, which is a 6 pointer. Then they play Liverpool, which I don't know how that game's gonna turn out. Then they play Crystal Palace, which is another 6 pointer. Then they play Brentford. Then they play Manchester United, and they play two 6 pointers at the end of the season. So where I don't know where West Ham United are gonna get a win from. Let's Arsenal they're gonna lose if they lose to Bournemouth, and I think that's the game. I think the game that will decide the fate of West Ham United is the Bournemouth game. If Bournemouth if Bournemouth gets all 3 points against West Ham United, then I think West Ham United are finished. I think West Ham United are absolutely finished because I don't see how to get a result. I don't see where to get the results from. They're not beating Man City. Crystal Palace. This is a good game as well. Yeah, and I don't see them beating United. I don't see them beating Brentford, and these two they're fighting for relegation anyway. So they might have it easy in terms of Leicester because Leicester, I think, at this point might actually be relegated. But yeah, but yeah, no, just to cover the game, the Man United game. Um, like I said, first half Man United, um, we pretty much destroyed Everton. We had a record of 21 shots, total of 29 around in the game. I think we had around like I mean we had more possession, more everything. Everything was just there for the taking. Man United, we should put them to the sword. We just it wasn't clinical enough, which is what you say about United a lot. If other than Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford was not clinical as well, because he could have had a hat trick. He could have easily had a double. This game, the 2-0 score, it should have been way more than that. And then the only thing I'll say, I thought Sancho and and I thought Sancho had a fantastic game. I thought Bruno had a fantastic game. I thought McTominay had a fantastic game. I thought Sabitzer was good as well. I thought Anthony. I thought Anthony tried. He had great opportunities to score goals. Missed a one-on-one against Pickford. Hit the post on one of them, and Anwan Pasaka missed the open goal. I thought Ivan Pasaka had a phenomenal game as well. Other than the missed goal, I thought his game was flawless. I thought Maguire had a phenomenal game as well. Shocking, yeah, Maguire had a fantastic game, and Bruno Fernandes playing for deep had a fantastic game as well. Even David De Gea, I thought was good as well. So even though he had nothing to do in goal, I thought his distribution was good. So yeah, Anthony Martial came on the second half and he scored the second goal. As you can see, Martial has a good goal scoring record against Everton, and yeah, it looks like Man United are gonna be in the top four, guys. I knew. I'm a conspiracy theorist. After what happened at the Tottenham game that we will be talking about, um, I think Man United are gonna be in the top four. I just don't see. If you look at Man United's next, well, I will say this: Marcus Rashford pulled up. It looks like a groin injury, and yeah, that's worrying. That's very worrying for Man United. He is our number one goal scorer, and but then Martial is back, so hopefully that we don't miss Rashford. But we 100% Rashford is that is a worrying. So, um, but Ericsson is back. Ericsson did play. He came on, and Casemiro served his last game suspension, so he will be back against Forest, which is our next game. Um, so yeah, I feel so. We have Sevilla midweek, and then we play Forest. Is this at home? No, away. So we play. I want to see something because I want to know how many. So we have yeah. Is this a home game? No, guys. We have a lot of away games. Man United away from us not so great. We don't do well away from home, but that's away from home against a lot at the top half of the table. Away from home from the bottom half of the table, I don't think we're so bad. Um, Tottenham, Man United. This is away from home. Yeah. So yeah, so we have a lot of away fixtures left. So we have Forest away, Chelsea at home, but this is going to be postponed. The FA Cup semifinal at home. We're going to play it at home. So, but we have Tottenham away, Villa at home, Villa at home. Yep, Villa at home. And Villa has been doing well, guys. Villa has been doing well. So, Villa at home, Villa at home, and Tottenham away. So yeah, I believe if Man United, if I believe we're gonna be Forest, so that's 3 points. And if Man United beat Tottenham and Villa, I think that secures it. I think that'd be it. At that point, I feel like we will secure it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 4 games, if we get a minimum of 2 points from the last 4 games, we're good. I don't think we have to win out because we have a game on hand against Tottenham, and if we beat them at home, that'll be a 6 pointer. And I think Tottenham have big games coming up, so I don't think Tottenham are gonna do anything, to be honest. Yeah, let me look at Tottenham's fixtures because they were lucky here. Yeah, Bournemouth. This is gonna be an interesting game because I don't think Bournemouth is gonna get relegated. People, I think Bournemouth are gonna survive. So this might could be a good result. I mean, Bournemouth might do something to here, but you never know. It's unlikely. I think Tottenham might have too much for them because Harry Kane is on form. Young Son ended up scoring. Didn't play well, but he ended up scoring a fantastic goal. But we'll see. And then we have Tottenham, Newcastle. Yeah, so yeah, Tottenham, Newcastle, Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Tottenham, and then yeah, Brentford, then Villa. I mean, Tottenham's fixtures are not so bad either. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But for me, the top four is as it stands, and I think this is gonna be the top four. The only thing I'll say is I think Man United are gonna leapfrog Newcastle. I think Man United gonna finish third. Newcastle gonna be fourth, and then Tottenham fifth, and Villa sixth. I think it's gonna be Brighton sixth, and maybe Liverpool seventh. I think Liverpool are gonna probably finish in uh, the Conference League. Yeah, and then to right now as it stands is Forest, Leicester, Southampton. I think both Southampton and Leicester are gone. I think Forest will survive. I think Everton will survive. I think Leeds will survive. I think Bournemouth will survive. I think West Ham United, which do have a game in hand, I guess Forest, and they're 3 points ahead of Forest with a game in hand. I still believe West Ham United will get relegated. I don't who the game in hand. The game in hand. I think is against United. Yeah, their game in hand or City. Those are the. I think it's either or. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah. Rashford's injury. Hopefully we get news about that. Hopefully he's not out for too long, because if Rashford's out for a long period of time, it's going to be difficult. He is our primary goal scorer, and I don't know how reliable Martial is because Martial's always injured. Um, which means other players have to step up. That being said, good news is Ericsson got some minutes. He's probably gonna play more minutes against Sevilla, and he's probably gonna start against Forest. He's probably gonna come on in like around like the 60th minute probably against Sevilla, and he's probably gonna start against Forest. Um, Casemiro are gonna play against Sevilla, and he's gonna start against Forest. So we're gonna have our number one midfield, our mid preferred midfield three from the start of the season, which is Casemiro, Ericsson, and Bruno. We're gonna have them starting against Villa. So I mean, sorry, Forest, which is a boost. It's a boost. I want Bournemouth to survive. Yeah, I think what Bournemouth is. I like teams that fight, man. Bournemouth, they fighters, man. They're like they don't want to go down, so they just don't give up games like other teams. Like one team I can't stand is West Ham United. West Ham United is, I mean, they just gave the points for to what you call it. What's his name? They just gave the points away. I mean, I still get it. So I don't know. It's for me. I just don't. I think West Ham United, they think they're just too good to go down. So, I mean, for me, we shall see. We shall see. Um. All right, guys. So that's it for Man United. For the Man United. I'm gonna do a quick player ratings for this game. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna do a quick player rating for this game. Yep, a quick play rating. I thought De Gea was. I mean, he had anything to do. To be honest, I give De Gea 6. I thought he was. I thought Martinez was good. I thought Martinez were really good. I mean, Martinez is always good, steady 80. I thought 7. I thought Maguire was fantastic. I thought Maguire was fantastic. So I give Maguire a 7, an 8 actually. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'm gonna give Maguire an 8. Actually, it's the other way around, guy. Martinez. Right back. I thought Wan-Bissaka had a game. I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a game. I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka was flawless. The only thing that he did wrong was he missed the open goal. Like that's it. Like nothing else he did wrong. So for me, I give him an 8. Malasia, thought Malasia was good. Thought Malasia was good. I give Malasia a 7. Um, Bruno, not Bruno Fernandez was amazing. I think I'll give Bruno Fernandez a 9. Um, McTominay got the goal. Um, I mean, it was just. I mean, he dominated the midfield. I give him McTominay an 8. Sabitzer, they was the quietest of the midfield. I give him a 7. Yeah, but Sabitzer wasn't bad. Luke Shaw. I mean, left side, we had Sancho. I thought Sancho had one of his best games. Got an assist. Made two Everton players literally fall down. I give him an 8. I thought that's what we need from Sancho. I think there's more levels to it, but for in today's performance, I think he was fantastic. I thought Anthony was the quietest of the front three. He had chances. He did really well as well. He could have scored. Scored at least 2 goals. One of them he hit the post that everyone beside completed Mr. Golden. The other one he went straight to the Pickford saved it. I thought Anthony was good. I give Anthony a 7. And then Rashford, I thought Rashford had a brilliant game. He got an assist as well for Martial. I thought he was brilliant. I really thought he was brilliant. Could have scored more goals. I think that's the only thing that I mean. It's Pickford. He probably knows Rashford really well. So I don't know. Rashford could have easily had a hat trick. So does Maggie deserve some clean sheet? Yeah, 7 clean sheets. I think David De Gea is tied for the Golden gloves for this season. So 8.5 from Maggie. Yeah, I thought Maguire was phenomenal. Um, does Maggie deserve more stars? To be honest, I won't mind. I really don't. I mean, the last couple of games he started, he's been fantastic. This is a different. I've always said. I know it's all jokes and stuff about how bad Maguire is, but I never thought he was a bad center back. I just never thought he was an $80 million center back, a world class center back, yada yada. I thought, does he have the potential? Maybe. Did he have that in his game? Maybe. Um, but yeah, I just thought this last 2 games he's been flawless. He's been absolutely flawless. Yeah, and so yeah, let's see people that has come on. Martial came on for Anthony. Anthony was upset that took it off. I would have been too because he had a good game. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Martial came on. Um, I thought Martial had a good game. He linked up very well. He was exactly the player we've been missing the entire season. Got his goal. Yeah, I thought Anthony Martial was at 8. Um, then in the end, I think Fred came on and Ericsson came on for McTominay. And Sibisu? Yeah. Fred, yeah, Fred just Freded. And then Erickson. I mean, welcome back. I mean, welcome back. Welcome back to Christian Erickson, guys. We missed him. Uh, yeah, Erickson. Yeah, yeah, pretty much controlled the game. It gave us something that we're missing for a long time. We, make sure we had more control of the game. Yeah, I thought Erickson was good. I give him a 7. And Ayrton Hag gets Ayrton Hag coached an unbelievable game, a 5-4 nil game, even though the score doesn't reflect it. But drum roll, I'll give Ayrton Hag a 9. I thought he was fantastic. I think everything he did was perfect. So he, yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Ericsson. I've always loved Ericsson. But I think Ericsson is I think with unfortunately with Daniel Levy and unfortunately with Spurs, they're the type of people that you have to leave when you can, or you won't leave. I think case in point is Song and Ericsson, of course, and Harry Kane. Like, I don't know how, I don't know why, but he has the ability to keep these players, bro, longer than he should. So yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. Like you had like Modric, Bale, Kyle Walker, Trippier, like players when they leave, they win. Like this guy Ericsson went into Inter Milan and he wanted them. He want a Scudetto. Now he come to Man United. He won a Carabao Cup. Like, I mean, it's what's up, what's up, Red Dove Studio, what's up, Red Dove Studio, what's up, yo. Yeah. So, uh, I'm gonna do this as well. Yeah, if anyone wants to come on, let me know, guys. If Keyman and Red Dev Studio want to come on, hey, guys, let me know. Hey, here's the link. If you guys want to hop on, yeah, just click on that link, guys. If you just want to hop on the stream, guys. Completely forgot to do that earlier. But yeah, those are my play ratings, guys. I think Eric Ten Hag has a 9. Was a 9. I thought he had he coached a fantastic game. Um, the players just missed their chances, but this game we could have been out of sight, out of mind. We could have easily been 4-0. Then we could have taken out players earlier and gave probably Ericsson more minutes in his game. Um, yeah, so SSB, bro. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Yeah. So that's it for me about the Man United Everton game. Let me know. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna talk about it. So this show is Man United versus Everton review as well as a Premier League review, and there's like a few topics I also want to talk about, i.e., you know, what should we call it? What's happened at Serie A. I mean, it's crazy, man. I read I read a tweet from a Chelsea fan that said Juve, I think it was a Chelsea fan. It said Juve was deducted 15 points and now have more points playing with 2 games in hand, playing 2 games less than Chelsea Football Club. Let me repeat this again. Juventus got deducted 15 points and are and have more points in their respective league than Chelsea Football Club has, and they have played 2 less games. Uh yeah, bro. It's yeah, actually let me get into it right now, bro. Let me get into it right now. Um Arsenal, Liverpool, man. Arsenal, Liverpool. Um, yeah, I'm getting into it now. Arsenal, Liverpool. Let's get into it. I, you know, football. Football is a funny sport. Let me just say that. Football is a funny sport. And people ask me, why do you say that? Because very, very funny answer. Yeah, yeah, but bro, I was shook, bro. I was shooketh. I was shooketh, bro. I was like, nah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like to say Chelsea are having a terrible season is an understatement. This is really bad. And I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I think Frank Lampard might be. I think he might do. I think he's probably gonna do everything in his power to get Chelsea relegated. The only problem is, I think Graham Potter has done enough, just enough to make sure that Chelsea have enough points that they don't. Then they can't get relegated because all Chelsea need is 1 point, and they're pretty much they're in safety. I think 40 points does it. I really do. 40 points does it, and are you telling me if Lampard ends up not getting a single point from here on out? Yeah, yeah, nah, nah. See, nah. So all those people that said, he's just an interim, well, then we need to talk. Then we need to talk. Um. So yeah, guys, game ended at 2-2, and I'm telling you, the scoreline does not tell you the full story. The scoreline does not tell you the full story. Guys, like I was saying this earlier, football is a funny sport. Football is a very, very funny, hilarious sport. And when people ask me why I say that, why do I say that? Guys, it's um you have no idea what I fight against Antonio Yasser. These people, these proper, yeah, bro. I genuinely feel bad for Chelsea fans. I genuinely feel bad for Chelsea fans that have sense. I really, really feel bad for you guys. I think people underestimated how Arsenal screwed up today. How much Arsenal screwed up today. Man City can win out and not all the games and win EPL. Man City versus Arsenal. Yeah, bro. Let me say this. Football is a very funny sport. I know I said this like 6, 7 times right now. Football is more mental than anything. Football is more mental than anything. And this is case in point. I've said this, I've talked to when I was talking about this game on Abdullah's stream. And guys, if you guys have not subscribed to Abdullah's stream, please do. It's an unbelievable channel, funny channel. The guys are they're absolutely hilarious. Keyman one. So uh Mike, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing, man?
How you doing, bro? I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just yeah, I'm just trying to go over this game, man. Bro, when I tell you football is a funny sport, man. I've never seen that enough a lot of people say football is more mental than anything. This is like case in point. Because I've said this prior to coming into this game. If Arsenal play their game, they're gonna wipe the floor with Liverpool. But this is the issue. But if Arsenal play play into the what you call it, the game, the occasion, the fixture. If they play into the fixture, they will struggle, and that's literally what happened today. From like from minute 0, from minute 30, Arsenal just played the game. They just played the game They just played their game and they dominated. 2-0, easy. Was taking Liverpool to they would at home they were just taking the game to Liverpool. Liverpool had no answers. They again they got baited. Granit Xhaka got baited. Got into a little scuffle with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then all of a sudden everything kicked off, and then all of a sudden Liverpool had energy that they didn't have in the first 30 minutes. Liverpool were running like they were not running for the first 30 minutes. The crowd was on edge. Everything was going crazy. And next thing you know, Liverpool didn't look back. From that point on, from that point on, and I until for the life of me, I seen the Liverpool side that I haven't seen in this entire season, where you only see glimpses of it. And for me, I cannot understand it. I don't know if you can explain to me, Mike, but I simply cannot understand it.
You think I can explain it? Yes, sir, bro. This this Liverpool team make no sense. They actually make no sense. Hopefully, you're having a good Ramadan, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Happy Easter to everybody who celebrate. It's a beautiful month, but being a Liverpool fan this season has been horrific. You know that old cliche of a game of two halves?
yeah,
There is not a better description than this game because that first half, Arsenal bossed us. They
hmm
absolutely bossed us. They showed a title winning performance for the first 30 minutes. But then it just when your heads are not fully focused on the game and and Trent knew what he was doing to Xhaka, and Xhaka was being stupid. Now,
yeah,
did that completely change the game? Okay, it might have had an effect to it, but when Xhaka did that, you don't ignite the crowd. Exactly. See, Xhaka antagonizing Liverpool fans at Anfield was the spark. Exactly.
yeah,
That stadium went. That was a church. When it was 2-0, it was a church. All you heard was Arsenal fans singing, "We're going to win the league. We're going to win the league." That's all you heard, and rightly so. They were 2-0 up, playing beautiful football. They nullified anything Liverpool were trying to do. You see the pressing Arsenal were doing that first half. Liverpool had no idea how to build a play. They had zero clue. I don't know if you realized this, yes, sir. Trent was actually playing as a midfielder today in the
yeah,
build-up play.
yeah,
He was
yeah. He
playing as the
was.
sort of second CDM, and it had no effect. There was all they tried to do was play it long towards Gakpo to win a header, or play it out wide to Salah, and it wasn't working. Arsenal had it perfectly to a T, and then all of a sudden, Salah gets that goal before the halftime, and that completely changed the game. That second half was all Liverpool. All Liverpool could have won that game, and they
Yes.
actually, in all honesty, and I'm not delusional. Yes, sir. I
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
fair with
I know. I
Liverpool.
know. I
We should
know.
have won that game. We
Yeah.
should have won that game with the chances we had and how we did not win that game. It baffles me to the point where Salah missed the penalty, Konate missed a glorious chance. Salah had three chances where Ramsdale made incredible saves. This game was this was, as we like to say it sometimes, proper Barclays. Intensity, fans, referees elbowing players, missed chances, missed penalties. I mean, this game had everything. It was so like for me, I'm not invested into this season, but just as a footballing fan, it was highly entertaining because I've seen some rubbish football. I had to watch Liverpool Chelsea earlier this week and turn it off after 70 minutes because it was horrible. This was football. This was everything. But now it comes to the question of Arsenal really bottled this game.
Yes. Yes, it
They
did.
had it all in control. And in the Premier League title races, you cannot bottle these sort of games. This is what is called title defining moments. And that last minute opportunity where Martinelli had a pass through to Saka, where they had a 3-on-1, that could be a difference maker in this title race.
Do you think, as good as Arsenal has been this season, do you still think and especially during this game, it's like that lack of, how do I say, experience?
Experience.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's what it is?
I don't think it was a lack of experience. I just think Liverpool really raised their game in the second half and just took it to Arsenal and just said, okay, Arsenal, how are you going to handle us? And in all honesty, Liverpool were pressing well, but and Arsenal, they kind of looked a little bit fragile. I think they were definitely missing Saliba, just somebody, a tank
Yes,
in defense.
yes,
Like Holding did well for what Holding is. Holding is not like the guy's got a hair transplant. Like that's the biggest thing that he's achieved in his life. He hasn't won any trophies. Yeah, he's won the FA Cup, but that hair transplant changed him as a man. but I just feel like they lost control. And you can even see Arteta with the subs. He moved to a back five. 5 minutes later, they conceded. So he was
Yeah,
trying to win the game 2-1, but I just think that little bit lapse of control really hindered Arsenal's performance. And I mean, look, I thought Trent in that second half, he's been criticized all season, rightly so. I thought Trent in the second half was amazing. Uh, his passing was on full display, and how he adopted Zinchenko and said, "Bro, you think guys I can't defend? Look what I did to Zinchenko. Nutmeg, put a perfect cross to Firmino. Was amazing." So yes, you could see a little bit of that lack of experience, but then you got guys like Zinchenko and Jesus who have been there before, and you even saw Zinchenko. As soon as he got subbed off, he knew what that meant. He said, "We can't be losing this game. This is when we go to Anfield, and we know this is one of the toughest grounds to go to get a result, to get 3 points. Would have felt like the world to them."
yeah, man. I just, it really didn't make any sense to me because I genuinely feel like for the first time this entire season, the second half, they mentally were not there. I just feel like mentally they succumbed to the pressure, and it was weird because like it was just like Liverpool would just look like they were miles ahead. They looked like Liverpool had more energy. Like they just the pressure that they put on Arsenal, Arsenal couldn't leave their half. They were camped in their half. The ball was just coming out, coming. They were just clearing it, going back to Liverpool's player, clearing it, going back to a Liverpool player, clearing it, going back to Liverpool. And I just one thing I was like very disappointed with Arsenal, and especially in the second half is I feel like the midfield there was no midfield presence at all. And what Liverpool did very well was they forced Arsenal to play wide. And when what they end up doing is they end up when they forced them wide, they end up making sure that they isolated their wingers. So you had Martinelli had a situation where like he was playing against not only against Trent, he was also playing against Konate or whoever's in midfield. So they had like 2 3 players that was there to make sure that like they had no attack. So because like their midfield was non-existent. Granit Xhaka, I think, was the better of the midfielders, but he was on a yellow card, so he couldn't put in a lot of tackles and stuff like that. Even though he ended up tackling, I forgot who was he tackled on the edge of the. Well, he ended up tackling.
I think it was Darwin.
Well, yeah, with Darwin, it was for a free kick, which I was like, oh my god, like you got to be careful here because you might get a second yellow, but I thought Partey was anonymous. I thought Martin Odegaard was absolutely anonymous, and I think that was for the first time this season. That midfield three didn't dictate the game, and I just didn't understand why he had Jorginho on the bench and he didn't play Jorginho. Like if he could have kept Martin Odegaard on the pitch, take Shaka off because he had a yellow card, put Jorginho there, or even play Jorginho and Granda Shaka, whatever, and then told Jorginho, listen, just retain the possession. Because I think I think that's something that maybe Arteta needs to learn. Because I feel like there's a difference between Arteta's the way he managed, like the way his team plays versus Pep. What Pep does is he takes the sting out of the game. He tells his team to keep possession and make sure like Liverpool chase the ball for a little bit, just to keep them, just to tire Liverpool out. But what Arteta and Arsenal kept doing was they kept trying to play vertically. So they'll get the ball, they try to play the first time pass, and it was not working for them because they were getting cut off. Or you had Kodati that was cut off the passing lane. You have Fabinho that was cut off the passing lane. You had Hendo that was cut off the passing lane, and the balls were just not going through. And what they just needed was a sustainable possession, and they never once did that. They never once just took the ball and took this thing out of the game. They just continued to play the way they played. And I felt again, Mikel Arteta's in-game management I thought wasn't great. He just allowed Liverpool to take control of this game, and towards the end of the game, like you said, he tried to change his tactics and stuff like that. But at that time, it was I believe it was far too late. I believe it was too late. And Roberto Firmino comes on and he scores a goal. And at that moment, I genuinely Liverpool looked like they're gonna score. They had two golden chances, like you mentioned, Konate and how Ramsdale saves that Mo Salah chance. I don't know. I thought that was going in. I
Oh
thought
yeah,
that
I
was
thought it was in too.
and then he just ends up and somehow someone getting a hand to it. It was no okay. Here's a question for you, and I've talked about this game prior to for the preview of this game. I was on Abdullah's channel and everything. We're talking about it, and I've mentioned Liverpool's record at home. Your record at home is very good. You guys don't concede a lot of goals, and you guys have one of the best
Yes,
the
sir. I'll tell you this: we have the third best home record, but we have the 17th worst away record.
what? But why? Like, do you know what? Like, how do you explain it? Like,
It's
I don't get it. Like, how can Liverpool be this good, no matter who they play at home, and be completely opposite away from home?
you know what it is, yes, sir. Is these players they don't have motivation anymore.
Mm,
And what home crowds do for you is they build that motivation. You hear the roar of the crowd. You're like, you know what? I want more. I want to play more. I want to play faster. I want to get stuck in, as they would say in England. But
yeah,
away from home, they don't feel that crowd. They feel more of the home crowd, and then that just demotivates these players. It's a mentality thing with some of these guys. In all honesty, I look at Van Dijk, for example. He was horrific in that first half. I mean,
yeah. He was
I
bad.
was
He was
just
very
thinking to
bad.
myself in that first half, I was like, just sell this
He
guy
was
because
bad.
he was so
Yeah,
bad. But
yeah,
then
he
the
was.
second half, I thought he was actually very good. It's just it has to be a motivation with these guys sometimes. Because I look at Henderson, the guy's god awful away from home, but then at home he's actually quite decent because he actually has some legs. So to me, it's all a mentality thing. There's just the motivation they get at home really spurs on these guys. Because then I look away, I look at the Chelsea away, I look at Bournemouth away, I look at City away. They flat out gave up. They would not
Yeah,
give up like that at home because one thing is those fans would let them know about it. Guarantee you, when we go Leeds away, what is it? A 10 o'clock? I think it's a 10 o'clock kickoff time for me. They're gonna lose. Once they go 1-0 down at Leeds away, Liverpool will lose that game. Guarantee you. But if it was home, okay, we already lost the Leeds at home, but let's say Nottingham Forest, they go 2-0 up, Liverpool will win that game. I just think it's just such a motivation thing with these players, and they have nothing to play for now. Yesterday, they're out of the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. They failed this season. This is a disgraceful season for Liverpool to what it should have been to what it is now. And I think the players can under these players want to go on the summer. They want to go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, wherever, and just chill and take a couple weeks off, and then just regroup for next season. I think this is what these players want, and I think this is what this manager wants. This guy just keeps talking about next season, next season. I better see this manager do something in the summer. At least he tried to do something different with Trent today. That at least I'm happy with. But it's just a motivation thing, in my opinion. But look, that second half, that's at least some encouragement that says, okay, you guys are not completely dead, but can you at least do this away from home, please? Like, can you at
yeah.
least you're going away to Leeds. Leeds just lost 5-1 today to Crystal Palace. If you can't beat these guys 3-1, it just shows that you still are just fragile and you guys are just Teletubbies away. You guys are monsters at home, but Teletubbies away.
No, I mean perfectly put. It just shows you like I don't. I agree with you. I don't. I think it's a motivational thing. I think a lot of these players have checked out, and I generally believe that when these players actually care, they are a different team. Which is crazy to say because you went away to Man City and you got embarrassed. So it's weird. It's a weird one because like you should always care. You should also always have like professional pride. You don't ever want to get embarrassed. But it just seems like they generally don't. Generally don't. They really do not care. And it seems like even during this game, I think I think a lot of the players came into this game like, we're gonna play this game, but if Arsenal goes ahead and scores a couple goals, we're not gonna it is what it is type of thing. But I think what ended up happening was like the whole Trent They and then the whole and the crowd just went crazy. I just feel like there's like, you know what? Now we have a reason to play, or now we have a reason to fight, which I don't get it. It doesn't generally logically make any sense because you're thinking you get paid by Liverpool Football Club, you're a professional, like every game matters, yada yada. But it just seemed like there was just a mentality, just a switch that happened during the game that till today I don't think anyone has an answer for. It makes no sense. And like you said, what is the motivation of going away to Leeds? What is the motivation there? Because if they end up losing, how can you perform like you did against Arsenal in the second half, and then somehow some way don't win against Leeds? It makes no sense. Because yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I
Trust me,
really
yes, sir.
don't.
I've been trying to figure it out all season. I gave up in January trying to figure this out. It makes no sense to me either.
Nah,
I've seen my team suffer so many bad defeats away from home. I'm like, these guys, they just don't have cojones away from home. They don't. They flat out give up. Once they're 1-0 down, their heads are down. They don't know how to play football. At home, I just think they use the motivation of the crowd and they just use that to their advantage. But yeah, look, that this team needs a total reboot though, because I mean,
absolutely.
yes, sir, that first half performance from VVD was, I mean,
No, I think
disgraceful.
when Mike, I think for VVD, I think for VVD, there are signs that he's not the same player. I
Oh
just,
yeah, 100%. He's not.
I think with VVD, I think that's kind of clear. Him, I think also Fabinho and Hendo, those three. I think as much, I think they can give you a good game. They can give you like a good performance here and there, but in the consistently, I just don't think they have it in them anymore. Especially, I don't know why. With Vivi, I don't think though. So for me, it was clear for me to see today. By far, your best center back was Konate. Konate looked like
No,
he was,
that guy, dude, the guy's an absolute beast.
yeah, he looked like miles ahead of Virgil van Dijk. He looked so much of a better player than Virgil van Dijk, and it is really sad to say that because Virgil van Dijk, for even for a Rider fan, I thought he was it was a unicorn of a player. So, um, Keeman says Trent for adopting the Ukrainian war offense. Zinchenko will be spared of any slander until next season. So, yeah. SSB 28 says, Yasser, who wins the league, City or Arsenal? Gun to your head question. Um, I really said Arsenal was going to win. I knew this was on the basis of them winning this game. I thought this was going to be their final like thing they needed to kind of propel them to the league because I didn't think they could afford to. I don't think this is a game they couldn't afford to draw. I and for me, from past experience, Manchester City are the one team, especially the form that they're showing now, that you do not want to have any misstep. And I think today was a misstep by Arsenal. So that being said, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't see City losing a game in the league. I really don't. I think they win out. And if that's the case, I think City will win the league. I don't see City losing, especially I don't see City losing against Arsenal at all at
Okay,
home.
yes, sir. What if it's a draw between City and Arsenal?
Now that's what Arsenal needs to do. Arsenal needs to get take points off of City, and that's the only way to win it. So if it's a draw, I mean, I just don't see it though. I don't see
Because
it though.
Arsenal still got to go away to Newcastle as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Mike. I just don't see it. I don't see in a must-win game, and City would treat the Arsenal game as a must-win game. Will Arsenal treat the game as a must-win game? I don't think so. I think Arsenal will go in there thinking a draw is a good result, and usually I feel like that's just not a good way of going by it. I usually and I think if City are desperate and they are desperate to win this league, they don't lose a game. So No, I think this is a I think this is a game that's more damaging than people are making it seem. I really do, because I know this is Anfield. I know this is the tough place to go. I know the record is out there, but winning the league is not easy, and winning the league does take a lot. Liverpool knows this. Winning the league takes a lot, and this was it. This is what they needed. I genuinely believe they needed this really bad. And no, I'm sorry. I just
I,
for
I just
me,
think it's also just it's kind of like the manner of how you gave up the points. You were
yes,
2
yes,
nil up, and then you just completely got outplayed in that second half.
because it was
They,
I think it was it's a mental thing. I think if this game happens in a neutral venue, Arsenal wins the game.
oh yeah, easily.
Yes, so I think it's just a mental thing, and that's the question for Arsenal. Yes, you've been great all season. Yes, you've been mentally strong all season, but this happened similarly to the same time as last season. I think it was like around like 10 games left of the season. They collapsed. That's how they lost out in the top four. It was literally towards like the end of the season, the last couple games, where they end up losing to like what was it Palace, was it Brighton, and they end up losing to Tottenham, and that's how they end up losing. And then I think they also lost to the drop points to Newcastle.
Yeah, they
So
lost 2-0.
so and that was like like literally towards the end of the season, and that's how they lost out in top four. And it seems like the same thing is happening again. Unfortunately, they they drop points to Liverpool. They're gonna be playing Man City soon. I think they're gonna lose that. So it's and then they're probably gonna lose drop points to Newcastle because you know what I mean. So it's like history repeating itself. You know. So um because if it
It
was
would
any
be
other, if, no, sorry, if it was any other team that they were in this title race, then I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have this opinion. I would have said, "No, they'll bounce back. They're gonna win it." But Manchester City have shown it year after year after year that they can win out. That they won't drop a single point, and I don't see them stopping. I don't see them dropping any points. So
I mean, yes, sir. I mean,
yeah,
pull up Man City's recent results. I mean, they're not just winning games. I mean, they're destroying teams.
yeah,
I
it
mean, 6-0, 7-0, 4-1, 4-1. It's ridiculous what they're doing at the moment, Man City. So, and now all they know is if they win every game, they're champions.
Yeah, and you tell that to Man City, you think they're gonna lose a game? No, you
No,
think they're
no,
gonna
no.
drop point? No, like that's these players have been there, done that. They know if we win every game, we're not gonna lose. We're gonna win champions, and that's all the motivation they need. Look, 4-1, 4-1, 6-0, 7-0. I mean, wow, and it's like the perfect time. Man City are becoming the Man City of old at the perfect time. And
Yep.
look, they have Leicester next. They have they they have Brighton is going to be tough. Then they oh well they're not going to play Brighton. Then they have yeah, that's it. So they only have one league game before they play Arsenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of weird because I think by the time they play Arsenal, it could be like 9 or 12 points that Arsenal are ahead. But just that kind of mental battle that Arsenal will have heading into that game, it's like that's a title decider in my opinion. Whoever wins that game is going to be champions. Like if
Yeah,
Arsenal win, and we can't even roll that out because I think Arsenal, even though they basically feels like a loss today, I think they've been the best team all season. I just think they've been consistently so good, and especially at home, they're not going to lose. But if somehow they bottle this is gonna really sting them. Honestly,
yeah. I want to change gears. I actually want to talk about this game. Did you watch this game?
I saw only the highlights.
I didn't watch the game at all. I saw the highlight and then I also went to Twitter and was following like read what people were talking about. Bro, the referees in this league are so bad. They are so bad. Like they first and first, I don't believe that Mitoma one was a handball. I think the Mitoma one is in that gray area, which is very inconclusive to tell if it hit his hand or if it hits his chest. And I feel like you should give the if it's that close, I think you should give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking player. So for me, I thought that was a good goal. But how they missed the foul, how they missed the penalty, is beyond me. I don't get it. I really don't. And the thing is like the PGMO came out and apologized that they missed the penalty, and I'm like, but I just no I don't know how you fix this. I really don't. I really don't. The only thing I suggested was I don't know. Like, do they need more referees? Do they need
No,
like an
that they don't
independent,
need.
like do they need like an independent referee that's not a part of the match day referees that's legit, like completely outside of everything to like re-referee the referee? I don't like what do they how do you fix this, bro?
I don't know, to be honest. I thought it would kind of be better when Howard Webb was becoming the head referees of the Premier League. I thought, okay, you know what? He was actually quite decent when he was a ref. This has gotten worse. I I don't get it with this. Like, it's not even the problem. It's not the technology. It's just the people implementing it. They have to be like drunk or something when they're refereeing the games. Because how you missed that chance? This actually happened to Brighton twice this season, where they've been robbed. Where the PGMO had to come out twice and apologize to Brighton.
Yeah, yeah,
How do
yeah.
you think they feel, bro? They must feel absolutely robbed at the moment. So whoever's going to play Brighton next, yeah, good luck. I think they're going to come with blood. They're going to come with blood and try and annihilate that team. I mean, look, Brighton should have won this game.
Yeah.
Not even just based off the penalties, but watching the highlights, they had, I mean, so many opportunities to score. So again, Spurs, they don't look convincing, but yet they win. They I don't get this team. In all honesty, I've said this before. Brighton deserve top four. They deserve European football, and Tottenham don't, because Tottenham look like a team that are they're done. And if I'm Harry Kane, why are you staying here? Why? Why are you signing it? Why are you gonna? What what manager will convince you to say, you know what, this is the guy who's going to lead us to the promised land of winning any trophy? Nobody can do that with this team. Their team is dreadful. Their midfield is dreadful without Bentancur. So I think Brighton, they've done like the recruiting they have done and the style of football they play is just so wonderful to watch. Like De Zerbi, I didn't think he was going to be this good. Like he was a good manager at Sassuolo and Shakhtar, but this
Mhm.
good, I didn't even expect it. And I think the players have kind of bought into the idea of Deserbi ball, and you see the likes of Mitoma, Ferguson, Moises Caicedo, all of these guys who all cost less than 10 million combined is just ridiculous to me. But I feel really bad for Brighton. It's just referees, man. Sometimes, how can they fix it? I really like. You just look at the Bundesliga. I never hear anything bad with the Bundesliga and how their referees are being dealt with. Maybe you can learn something from them. Sometimes you don't have to look internally, but look outside of your realm. And that's the thing with these British referees. They don't want to be held accountable for what they do wrong. Guarantee you that these guys who are in the VAR box for this game, they will not be sacked. They'll just get a fine and say, hey, yeah, you won't referee next week, but you come back the next week after. How are you going to be punished? You have to set a standard if you are the Premier League of supposedly having the best league in the world, but then having probably the worst referees in the world. So there has to be a standards. If there is standards with players, there has to be standards with the referees.
No, 1000%. I just for me, I don't know how you fix it because for me, one thing I don't like is the PGMO coming out with apologies. Like, come on, like it's like rubbing
It's
salt
just
in
going to
the
be more
wound.
demoralizing to
Yeah,
Brighton.
it's you're rubbing salt into the wound. Like, one thing is like if I was a referee, I'll be shameless. I will I will be like quiet. I will not apologize because at the end of the day, is what would the apology do other than solidify the fact that because how many times are you going to apologize? This is twice, like you said, this is twice. You came out and you apologized to Brighton twice in the span of one season. And what the PGMO did an investigation in the game and said, we got this massive decision wrong, which cost Brighton the points. So what benefit is Brighton? You're not going to replay the game. So what's the point? You're not going to give them the points back. So why even apologize? Why even say it? All because we want to be transparent. You want to be transparent and tell people exactly what we only know, that you guys are terrible at your job. Like, come on, like there has to be a resolution for this. I've said this for a while. Referees needs to be held to what extreme high standards, especially in terms of officiating. So if a referee makes a mistake, that referee should be punished. I'm not saying you should sack that referee, but that referee should the get level of games that he should be a referee. It should not be this. Take him to the championship,
Or
or
yes, sir.
you know,
Like we both watch American sports. Referees actually have to explain their decision. Like
yeah,
NBA, why can't I? This is why I don't get with football sometimes. Why can't referees just say after the game? They actually do this sometimes in the Bundesliga, where referees explain, okay, with this decision, we came to this conclusion. Like, why can't you do that in the Premier League? I just don't. I just don't think they want to have the referees get so many social media bullying. In my opinion, that's what I think. But they should come out after the game and explain why they gave this outcome instead of another one. I think then we could maybe understand a little bit more. But now, because it's just you come out later, you come a day later and say, "Oh yeah, sorry, we effed up in this situation." What? What? You're just making the situation worse. And Brighton then come into the next game thinking, "Are the referees against us already?" Even before the game begins. You can't have that sort of mentality if you're the Premier League. And these referees are, I mean, honestly, sack them all. Sack
yeah.
them all.
No,
They're terrible.
no. I mean, this is just like is it the 2022? Yeah, 2022, 2023. This is the weekly salaries of the Brighton players. Yeah, Brighton don't get paid at all. These
Look at
players do
Moises
not get paid.
Caicedo. Yes, sir. He's 15K a week.
But didn't he get offered a new contract
He signed a new contract. Yeah,
and it got raised to 15K?
I
Or
I
or is he just
no, it must have increased, but they're not transparent
yeah?
with these wages.
No, it's bad. Like it's bad. I mean, they. I think they're gonna lose a lot of their players. I think Moise Casido. I think also. I think McAllister.
McAllister, yeah.
I think even Mitoma might. I think they'd be lucky to even keep him as well because there's a chance that he might leave as well. So, and this is why for me it's very sad that what's happening to Brighton because I genuinely believe the way Brighton had been playing, Brighton had actually had a decent chance, not even an outside chance, a decent chance of finishing in the top four. And if they would have finished in the top four, get top money, Champions League money, then it would have been incentivized some of these players to stay. But now you don't have that same. You can't compete. How can Brighton compete against these big clubs if you don't have an even playing field? And as much as like you know right now I'm saying I'm making it seem like the big clubs do get the favors, all that stuff in terms of refereeing decisions. I'm not gonna lie to you, the facts are there. I think if someone can combine the data, for whatever reason big clubs do get the the more decision than the small clubs. They do. That's just the truth. Like I don't. eh, Referees are humans as well. Referees are biased as well. And for me, I just, as a referee, you just allow two clear goals of Brighton. So when you see a penalty incident happen, when the players complain, at least do with the decency as a referee to be like, okay, listen, two clear two goals that went in the back of the net. I chopped them off for outside. At least let me just give myself a chance to actually look this over and actually like look at this decision to make sure that I don't miss a clear penalty. Like sometimes as a referee, you need to understand the temperature of the game. You have to. So um because I used to referee, man. I used to referee like sometimes adult games, I used to be linesman for adult games. I used to referee youth games. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's difficult when you're refereeing Premier League game. Yes, absolutely, because these are athletes. It's hard to keep up with them. I understand that. But you also have the technology. You have the ability to be like, hold up, wait a minute, we're checking this. I have, hey, whoever's in the VAR, for whatever reason, I didn't see the Mitoma one clearly. Check it for me. And should I check this in the monitor? That's all he had to say. All right, we're checking it. Oh, you know what? There's a bit of contact. You should run over. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very simple. I just simply do not understand how they continue to get this thing wrong. I really don't.
Yeah, but let me just make a comment about Brighton because this is a club where this is how you run a football club.
Yes.
Recruitment, style of play, and it's all down to the owner. And I mean, look, those wages are disgusting. I mean, sorry, these are disgusting wages. Like
Yes.
Caicedo should be on at least 100K a week, at least. McAllister should be on at least 100K a week. But this is the problem. Like when you sign these players, you're not gonna. You're like Moises Caicedo came straight from Ecuador to Brighton. You cannot guarantee him immediately 100K. He has to prove himself, right? He's a talented player, but you can't immediately give him that sort of money. So he's got to perform, and then you can give him the money. But I just think Brighton, they're just stuck in their ways. They say, okay, we're going to be a selling club. Now, how long can they be a selling club until what happens to Southampton, for example? Like Keyman says, Southampton are about to get relegated because they've been working on this sort of cheap way to stay at the top. I
Mm-hmm.
think for Brighton, because they had that second club in Belgium, they're doing it a smart way where they sign these guys for cheap, they send them to Belgium, get a season's experience there, and then bring them to Brighton. But I think they really have hit a gold mine with certain players and the manager. Now, how long can they keep this up for? I think it's done after the summer. I think you're right, Yasir. I think they're going to lose McAllister. They're going to lose Moises Caicedo. And then what? Like those two guys, I think, are fantastic midfielders. How are you going to replace them? I, you're not. You can try and sign some guy from the streets of Quito or the streets of Buenos Aires, but they're not these two players. So
Yeah. I
it
mean,
it's sad for Brighton because I think if they got Champions League football, I mean, those guys would have stayed. And then who knows for Brighton? I mean, seeing the Seagulls in the Champions League would be ridiculous in my opinion.
unbelievable.
But I just don't think now it's max Europa League in my opinion. But man, they have. I mean, think about it. They signed Caicedo for 2.5 million after your club tried to get him, but your club said he's not good enough. But then he's now look what he's doing. You look at Ferguson. I think they only signed him for like 3 or 5 million. Mitoma max 5 million. It's just crazy business. Sometimes, yes, we can say, "Oh, analytics are ruining football," but this case here is showing analytics are perfect. In the sense, you got the
Absolutely.
eye test, but you also see the analytics saying, "Yes, this guy might not be perfect right now, but in a couple of years' time, he's going to be an amazing player for us." And it's exactly what's happened in this situation. Like Alexis McAllister came from Argentino Juniors.
Mm.
Like many people have never heard of this club. I mean, McAllister's not even an Argentinian name. So you're thinking
Yeah.
to yourself, who did they sign this guy from? Did they sign this guy from Ireland? No, 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 no. So it just shows you Brighton just have such a good scouting system, but yet it's all ruined because of a couple of refereeing decisions. So I feel bad for them, in all honesty, and hopefully they can keep it up. I think for the next couple of seasons we'll see Brighton as like that kind of eighth, ninth, 10th place team in the Premier League.
Absolutely, bro. Like the wages are discussed, but it makes sense given the recruitment time and the size of the club. I see your
Exactly.
point. Keeman says Brighton are the new Southampton. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Like this is what Southampton used to do. The amount of players that Southampton produces is unbelievable. Like it's crazy, man. If they would have kept those players, man, God knows where they would be right now. They would not be relegated, that's for sure. Um, Wait, but Mike, what about a club like Dortmund or Ajax or Benfica who consistently produce good young players? Can Brighton replicate that? Mike, what do you think? Because I think that's very hard to do in the Premier League. I feel
I
like,
think it's hard to do in the
yeah,
Premier League as well. And I think Dortmund and Ajax and Benfica, they've been doing it for decades.
yeah,
Brighton have only been doing it, what, 2 seasons?
yeah, 100%. I just feel like with the money that is in the Premier League, I just feel like it's very difficult because as soon as you have a player, you sign a player, he stays. Next, you know, a club is in, like Chelsea is gonna buy him. Like literally, they want him to stay for 1 season. So at least for Dortmund, they'll take these young players. They will actually keep them for a couple of years, and then they'll sell off from a big fee. But with these players, if you bring young players that's really talented, Manchester City's there, Liverpool's there, United's there, everyone is there. Like everyone wants to. That's what the Premier League does. Like if a good talent is there, everyone wants to buy him. Um, so it's not sustainable. It really isn't. Um, Keeman, Mike wants to ask you a question. The Seagulls and Magpies in Champions League, the street needs it. This is like seeing Stoke City and the banner best Sensor. Yep. Yeah, Keeman. That'd be crazy. If no, I would love, I mean, question for you. Your top four. Who do you think is gonna finish top four?
Newcastle, Man United.
Okay.
It's
And
done.
so Tottenham doesn't have a chance, even though they
Hell no.
beat. No,
Come
no,
on, bro.
no hope for Tottenham.
Heck
Yeah,
no, bro. Come
yeah,
on, man. That team is so. They got outplayed by Brighton. Brighton absolutely outplayed them.
yeah,
But just two chances for Tottenham, they converted it. I mean, good for them. But I just cannot see how they're going to get top four. In all honesty, and I think Newcastle are like us doing a City right now. They're hitting form at the right time of the season.
yeah, bro. Listen, bro. Let me change gears a little bit. I forgot to talk about this with you. The robber incident, bro. This is crazy. Did you see this?
Yeah, this is pretty insane.
What's your take on it? Like, what do you think is going to happen, and what do you think should happen?
Well, I mean, look, Robo kind of puts his hand on him first,
Yeah,
probably just to like say like, hey, why did you not give this outcome? But to have that reaction if you're a referee, now look, if a player did that to a referee, that player is done for the season. He's
yeah.
suspended, like Mitrovic. So kind of the same thing has to happen to the referee. Like you can't lose your cool. Like bro, he put an uppercut elbow on Robo.
Yo, okay. So you know what they all say though. Well, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, this is crazy. One thing I will say is, people don't. I feel like fans really don't understand that linesmen get a lot of crap. They
Oh
do.
yeah, they do.
They do. Like the linesmen. Like people don't see this because it's off camera. They're like the amount of things that the amount of abuse that the linesmen get from the players is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know if that's what's the case in this game. I don't know if this linesman was getting abused the whole game by Rubble, and then Rubble came up to him, and then once he touched him, he got aggravated, and he did that. I don't know if that's the case, but it's gonna be interesting because they were harsh on Mitrovic. They did an 8 match ban on Mitrovic, which is like pretty much for the rest of the season. It's gonna be interesting how the referees deal with it because the PGMO did come out and say they're doing an investigation, so they're looking at this. So the thing is, what do they do? Because I don't know. I really don't. Because I he does. I mean, the argument is he grabs them, and then because referees are interesting. They have a way of coming to a decision, which could be like a subjective decision. So I don't know because I can see the one argument the referees will make will be like, well, he came up to the referee, he bumped the referee, or like he grabbed the referee. The referee was just trying to, you know, release himself from rubble. The elbow came up, accidentally cut, and it was an accidental contact. You know how the referees talk.
Yeah,
So I can see that argument, and they posing that argument because the referees love to stick together. They love to stick together. They don't like to call each other out. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's
I
gonna
just
be
don't see how this is accidental contact though. Like,
because
okay, I can understand if you bump him, but literally he puts his elbow up at right at Robo's face.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But with the amount of decisions they get wrong in the game, I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as the PSG and more are like high and mighty, all that stuff about like, oh yeah, we oversee the referees. I feel like a lot of the people that in the PGM more and the people that refereeing are the same. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I think they have the same mind and brain. They think the same way. So because the referee, they're gonna question him, and he's gonna be like, literally, he had my arm, and I just was trying to pull my arm, and my elbow went up. That's literally what he's gonna say. I don't know. I don't know if Paul Tierney is gonna collaborate with him, and you never know, man. Because the thing is, it's gonna be interesting. I really think this is extremely fascinating. Because what do they do? Because the referee should not be able to touch a player. That's crazy.
oh
I
yeah,
think this
no
is
way.
crazy. Yeah. The linesmen are the easiest referees to mess with. Everyone does it. Yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Yeah.
They
I
get a
mean,
lot of abuse.
you see when the what Bruno Fernandez got away with it, which is you should never be doing that. Like that's crazy. But no, it's gonna be interesting
No,
to
this is
see
the
that.
case though, yes, sir. I think players should show more respect to referees. I fully agree. I fully believe that because I feel like players get away with a lot of shenanigans and a lot of just that small little bickerings and always coming up to the ref and just saying all this sort of nonsense like "f you," "why'd you give that decision?" F you," this that. But a referee can't do this. This is despicable behavior. Like I can understand like it's the heat of the moment. The game was getting heated at the end of the first half, but to raise your elbow like this, like even if this wasn't even a Liverpool player, I'd be like, what are you like? Even if this was a Manchester United player, let's say somebody elbowed Bruno Fernandez, I'd be like, why are you doing this? Why?
Well,
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like Rumble either must have said something horrific to him, or then the referee just lost his head, which can happen.
no, Mike, this is why I stopped being a referee.
Oh yeah,
I'm not lying to you. Like you don't, you are literally despised by everyone involved in the game. We're talking about both sets of teams, both sets of players, both sets of coaches, both sets of parents, and or both sets of fans, depending on what level you're playing in. They absolutely hate your gut. You're at like the most hated figure in the whole entire game. So not only do you have to deal with at times I remember dealing with both sets of coaches that just at time is just nonsense, absolute nonsense, bickering about fouls when they know it's a foul. Players out here giving you lip, and you like, I was one of those referees that I hated giving out yellow and red cards because I feel like if a referee you have to give out if you give out multiple red cards and yellow cards, you have no control of the game. So I like the game to be flow. I like to make sure I'm not involved in the game. I like to make sure that like the game is I'm refereeing the game like I'm not even there, so the game just kind of flows. But there be times where like I'd be so tempted to give yellow cards and I had to like restrain myself and kind of had to like take and tell the hey, knock it off. Hey, any more left from you? That I'm cautioning you, yada yada. I remember I was refereeing these U17 kids. I remember I said, listen, kid, any more left from you is a caution. And he's like, I'm gonna give you a card. And he's like, what card? A credit card? I'm like, that's enough. That's enough for you. And I gave him a card. And then it was funny because his coach was like, you know what? You deserve that one. I, I, like, I mean, I don't get it. Sometimes I don't get it. And you hear like crazy stories from like referees saying like, there'll be like people that like, you know, there'll be like a U17, U16 team or like would there be like be a player that will literally take a red card because he wanted to go on a trip. So they'll literally like, oh, you know what? I'm going on a trip with my like, with a whole bunch of people out in the lake and stuff like that. I really don't want to play the rest of the game. So literally, we take a red card and literally just go home early. We heard crazy stories.
yes, sir. I'm
So
dead, man. You man said, "When are you gonna give me a credit
yeah,
card?"
yeah. I was like, hey, come here, give him a yellow. Nah, it was, yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie
Oh,
to you.
dude.
I had some good time. I had some good time with Fareed, man. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. The players, I like the players. The players were always cool. The people I couldn't stand was the spectators and the coaches. Because the coaches, all they do is just yell. That's what all they do. They yell, yell, yell as much as they possibly can to get decisions. And think that's like in every coach's mind is if I'm not on the referee's neck, then I won't get any decision. And like either the parents, especially the parents, they just scream and they don't know what they're screaming about. They're just
Oh,
yelling. So like,
yes, sir.
yeah, it's
Sir. I remember one time I was refereeing here in Finland, and there was a game between. It was one team that they were mostly like Hispanic guys, and then the other team it was Somali guys. Bro, that game was probably the most heated football match I've ever seen. I I was the linesman for that game. The referee had no control. I think there might have been 3 or 4 red cards. There was a bust up in the middle of the field. I mean, I felt bad for the guy, and then I had to come and help him a little bit because just to try and control the match, bro. When it's like when you just see the game going away and the referee loses control, I mean, there's just tackles flying everywhere.
Oh,
It, it,
bro.
it's such a horrific sight to see because you just see like the ref is trying his best, but the players are just so heated in the moment, and the referee kind of let go a couple of tackles. But once that one tackle comes in, then one of the players just starts fighting. It's just mayhem at times, and oh man, this is why I stopped being a referee because I was like the abuse they get, and if they just make one bad choice, it just ruins the whole game. And I feel
Absolutely.
bad for them because referees get a lot of abuse when it comes to players, managers, fans. But once they lose control of any game, it doesn't matter whether it's U9s, 17s, men's games, you just feel bad for the referee because just that one choice dictates the whole match.
No, no, 1,000%. No, it's I always what's interesting is also like I also left some girls, and it's funny to see the difference.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's so different, and at times I preferred refereeing girls games as well. Because and then but then with the girls game you have to be very careful because like they do things very slick. And also
Mm,
you gotta have to pay attention to that. There's sometimes there's like hair pulling which doesn't happen in a boys game, and it's no, I'm not gonna lie to you. I missed refereeing, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I loved being as assistant referee more than I actually like being at times. I liked being a side referee because like it takes the responsibility away from you because you really don't have to call a lot of stuff. Only thing you have to call is when the ball goes out, when offsides and fouls that you see. That's it. Like all the chaos, all the abuse, all the mayhem is down to the central referees. And
yep.
I sometimes I feel bad. Like I feel bad for sometimes, like because this abuse is nonstop, and nonstop. And so I was one of the referees that I was like, you know what? It depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll be like, I want like I'll be have like a crappy day, so I'll be like one of the referees. I'll be silent. I won't speak a word. I'll just referee the game. That's it. Like I'll just blow my whistle, point to whatever, go sub, come in. That's it. I will not say a word. So people will be talking to me, and I'll just completely ignore them. And then they used to hate that. They used to hate it because I would just be like, I don't care, man. I'm not gonna interact with these people at all. And because because there'll be times when I was in like a crappy mood and I did not actually want to referee the game, and I was like, but anyways, I'm not gonna lie to you. In a way, I do miss it, but in a way, I'm like, nah, it's not worth it to be honest. I love the game, but being a referee is like it's not easy at
Nah,
all.
that's the last job you take as if you're
Yeah,
involved in football as being a referee.
nah, it's yo because like you said, you cannot make a mistake, and if you make a mistake, there's not. Oh my bad. There's no such thing as that,
No, you're
So
just gonna get abuse from both teams.
absolutely. Yo, you know what? I'm a end the stream soon. Before I do, I want to get your take on it. What do you think is going to be the last couple of teams to get relegated? For me, I think I said this. I think Leicester are done already. I
Yeah, they're
think
down.
they're gone. Who is the third team do you think is going to get relegated?
Well, obviously, I'm hoping for Everton, but Nottingham Forest, they're imploding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're imploding, bro. What did they pick? 6 points away from home. You can't do that. So
Mm,
when they go away from home, they got a tough schedule, by the way. They got a tough schedule. Not they got you guys next, then it's
yeah,
Liverpool, and then I think they still got to play. Who else was? I think Arsenal still. Like, yeah, I think they're
yeah.
down. They're done.
That's so sad. I feel bad for Northern Forest, but then again, they did spend so much money and bought a whole bunch of
They
players.
bro, they bought everybody. They
Yeah,
got Keylor Navas in goal. They signed so many quality players, but it's just like away from home they've been so horrifically bad.
Mm,
That's the main thing. Like your home form can take you as far as it can, but you have to pick up some results away from home. You have to. That's why I think like that game against Manchester United next, Forest have to win. It has to be a win for them. If they don't win that game, I just think all the confidence is done with this team. And I mean Everton, look, I don't really care for the team. I don't like you guys should have beat them 4 or 5 nil. I mean the amount of
yeah.
chances you had in that first half. Anthony should have had 2 goals. I mean he was throwing goal twice. Twice he should have
Yeah.
scored. But I think Everton they're still going to be fine because Sean Dice knows what he's doing.
I
He
ha-
knows what he's doing.
I have a question. Because I thought I have a feeling my dark horse in terms of the relegation, I think is West Ham. I
Yeah.
I know I'm because it's crazy because on paper they have a brilliant team. Like on paper, you're like Fornals, Bowen, Anthony,
Lucas
Antonio,
Pacata,
Lucas
Scamacca.
Paqueta. Yes, like bro, they have a fantastic team on paper. But bro, they don't win. Like, I think they lost the one. Oh, they won 2 games. That I didn't realize that. But I don't. I just no. They beat. Oh, because
No,
they're
they
in the
beat Fulham.
conference league.
They beat Fulham the last game.
Oh yes. Okay. They beat Fulham.
Yep.
Okay. Was that yesterday? Okay. Never mind then. I think that result. That's it. That's it for them. I think that result is gonna carry them. Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. Because I thought I didn't realize they played yesterday. Wow, they
Yeah, that
actually
was
beat Fulham.
yeah, had they lost that game, then they could have been in real trouble.
Yeah, then they would have been like what, 27 points. Yeah, no, you're right. Then I think Forest. Yep, Forest. But the thing is, I selfishly want West Ham United to get relegated because I like the players. I'm just gonna Declan
So you just
Rice,
want to take the players away
Paqueta.
from them. Is
Yeah,
that what you want to do?
bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. They're cheap. Do you know how cheap they're gonna be? Yeah, Declan Rice 100 million. No, you could get it for like 30. What? Do you know how many? That's a bargaining. Like 2 for 1 deals. No, hey, you gotta do what you gotta. Because look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I look at the teams that are gonna get relegated. Southampton, was it Latvia? I think that guy would not be there at all next season. Um, but then other than that, other than him and James Ward-Prowse and Kyle Walker-Peters, I think those are the three that's like valuable players that they have. And other than that, who else do you want for Southampton? I don't. None of them. You look at Leicester. Indeed,
Madison, that's it.
yeah, indeed doesn't look like the same player. Babka Samara doesn't look like the same player. I'm a big fan of Harvey Barnes. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm
Yeah,
a
I like
big
Harvey
fan.
Barnes.
I like Harvey Barnes. Um, but other than that, they're just crap. There's no one else. Then like Nottingham Forest, I don't want any of those players. I don't like none of them. Don't get. I
Nah,
don't.
I would actually like Morgan Gibbs White. That guy's a baller.
Yeah. Him. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, but you look at West Ham, I'm like licking my lips. You know what? I want him. I want him. Like they actually are a good team. So it's no. It's I do agree with you. West Ham United are gonna stay up. I
Although
thought
I think they still got to play Arsenal and Man City, I believe West Ham.
yes.
So it could get tough for them, but I think they'll just so they got Arsenal, they got Bournemouth away, then they got Liverpool at home.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think these 2 games, man. Like they have to get some sort of results in these 2 games. If they
Yeah.
don't manage to beat Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, yeah, I don't know what to
No,
say.
look, it's the thing though with relegation battles.
You
Like
never know.
a couple weeks ago, we all thought, oh, Crystal Palace, Leicester City, they'll be fine. Now look at Leicester City. I mean, they're completely imploding.
No, I think the owners kind of. I think the owners gave up on them. I really do.
No, they actually faced, I think, a lot of COVID problems because
Mm,
their whole business was I think it was like the airport in Thailand. So obviously because of COVID, they could not get any business. So they've lost a lot of money in that. So they have to save up a lot of money for Leicester. So they just weren't able to spend like other clubs in the Premier League.
yeah, no, and also I feel like I know it's not his fault because his team wasn't good, but I thought the whole Brendan Rodgers thing was not working. for a long time. I know they had like a bit of resurgence prior to the World Cup, but I just feel like that. I thought Brendan Rodgers, it just didn't work. It really didn't work. It worked like Brendan Rodgers always has like an expiration date, like in any club that he goes to. Like similar happened to Liverpool, where Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, but he's only good to an extent. And when he ends up running out, it ends up really bad. So they should have sacked Ben Rodgers a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
Not
100%.
now they're in a situation where they can't bring a manager in because what manager is dumb enough to take this job for what like you're
Some manager will be us here. Somebody wants a payday.
they could have sacked him and got Sam Allardyce and probably maybe would have
Oh,
survived. Who knows?
you know, Alfred, it's funny. It's so funny. I wish Lampard got that job. Why
Oh
are we
yeah.
stuck with him?
Well, he said no to it, didn't he? Like didn't he say no to it? I don't
No,
know.
Potter did.
Yeah,
Potter said no.
what's that's smart. The Potter. I'm telling you, Keyman. I'm telling you, you guys are so lucky. Grand Potter got you enough points. Cause I'm telling you this, Chelsea
You
football.
know,
I'm telling you
you know,
this.
since
Lampard is gonna
since
lose every game. He's gonna lose every game.
Yasser. Firstly, everyone, good evening, guys.
Good
Sorry I
evening.
didn't join earlier. I was doing some stuff, so I decided to listen and type in.
No worries, no
Uh,
worries. Sir.
what should we call it? You know, when after that Villa game, we only needed 2 points. 3 games, we only have 1 point. Man, it's. But you know the good thing about that Wolves game, it opened a lot of people's eyes. I don't see as much nonsense as I do on Twitter now. Like the accounts, those fan accounts, they've died down.
No, big up 8744. No, I mean it's bad, Keeman, because I just read I just saw some report says some things on Twitter saying that you guys are in a lot of trouble in terms of FFP, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this summer is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
no,
It's gonna be
it's
really bad.
I don't know. It's I don't know. And I'm hearing like Bayern making threats because you guys didn't give him the was it the assistant. There was like a coach that Tuchel wanted, and you guys said no. So like Bayern like we will remember that when you come for the negotiate Nagelsmann's contract. So
Oh my god.
uh now it's crazy because how did I mean this is probably I'm probably have to do like a completely separate stream just to talk about like from point A to point B, investigate what happened to Chelsea
Uh,
Football Club, man. It's
Yasser, I want to ask you a question. By the way, big up Mike. By the way, big up Mike.
Big up, bro.
Uh, I want to ask you a question. Did you guys see about that the James Gordon thing?
James
Uh,
Corden.
do you know that one guy that does the taxi
Yeah.
karaoke? He's,
Was it Talk Sport? Is it on?
No, he
Talk,
does the
Talk
night
Sport.
show.
He's
Yeah.
not he's a night show like the late show with like he does these taxi karaoke with these stars and whatnot, Justin Bieber and whatnot. He's like
Oh yeah.
super famous in
He
the States.
didn't he get
That
like
fat guy,
yeah.
you know him, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys saw that tweet about him talking. Like he's really good friends with Todby, and apparently he gave him the idea of Lampard. He's like,
I
oh,
mean,
it's a
I,
smart
I
move.
but I've said this, guys. Like I
It
don't
can't be
know.
real. It can't be real. It can't be. It
No,
has to be slander.
I feel like I feel bad for Chelsea fans because Chelsea fans, you guys have to defend your club. You have to make sense of things that don't make sense, and you know, it's. I think it's kind of quite clear to me that this whole thing now, because a lot of Chelsea fans said we have a footballing structure, it's going to be different, yada yada.
No,
But it just
it's not.
seems like this guy Todd Bowley, he has a mind of his own, and everyone around him that he got in terms of football and directors are just yes men that they
No,
simply are not.
I believe in Lviv, like the football director from Red Bull. I believe in him. If
No,
he's
no,
not allowed to do his job, man, just let the.
no, Keeman, that's my point. I think I'm not saying they're bad football directors or I think they're bad at their job. I just feel like they just
Yeah, his owners.
that Todd Bowley is his own person and they just I don't think they're I don't know if brave is the word, but then no one is willing to step on anyone's toes to, you know. to say what they think, you know. So
Mhm.
like, if you cannot tell your owner, you know, hey man, you know, I don't think this is a good idea and all that stuff, and you're just like whatever the owner says, you know what, that's a great idea, and you're just kind of going with this madness, then I don't know. I mean, because at the end of the day, is people. I feel like as money is one thing. I know the money is good, but your reputation is another thing. Like
Yeah,
all these people that Vavel and all these people that have joined Chelsea, you're part of the circus now.
yeah.
So no
People are
matter,
seeing it as a joke. People are
yeah,
seeing it
so
as a joke.
yeah, so people are not seeing like, bro, you're supposed to be just a good footballing director from. You're supposed to be really good from RB Leipzig.
Hmm.
You're in this mess, so you're part of this mess as well. What are you doing to fix this mess? And then it just seems like, yeah. So at the end of the day, like it's a mess. But
Chelsea's it's a
But key
mess, man.
man, thank you, bro, for showing up, bro.
Yeah, no
No worries,
worries,
but
man.
anytime, you know, anytime we're live, you feel free to jump on, bro. Same to
Oh,
you as
thanks.
Mike, bro. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone that has came and listened to the show. Shout out to everyone that supported. Big up to Ibs. Big up to AJ744. Big up to you guys. Uh, anyways, guys, I'm gonna head out. You guys take care for me.
All right, peace, peace,
All
peace.
right, peace, bro.